Really glad I could bring everybody together this afternoon. I really want to thank you for coming out, because we're all here for one purpose, and that's to support Kate Stewart. And we're here to talk about Kate, but before I cede any of my time, I don't want to forget, I saw Bruce Williams somewhere here. Where'd Bruce go? I want to really recognize and thank Bruce for all his contributions to the city. He's leaving a big boy, big shoes to fill. Difference in Takoma Park. We're going to talk about Kate the rest, and I'm sure we're going to hear from Bruce, but I'm really excited to, I want to thank you for your contributions, Bruce. Thank you very much. You've been a great partner to work with. Let's talk about Kate. I'm going to be quick, but I got 3 reasons that I want you to know I'm supporting Kate. And I've been supporting Kate since she told me she was getting in this race. Number 1, I really relate to Kate. She's a young parent with a long-term stake in the city. She's a nonprofit consultant executive who knows how to make decisions, knows how to balance a budget, knows how to get a lot done on a shoestring budget, and that's really rare in elected office. So I know she's going to be a terrific mayor for that reason. Number 2, she's committed to be a mayor for everyone in the city. And this is a constant challenge. Bruce knows as well as anybody. We have 17,000 residents. We might have 1,700 who are really involved in the life of the city day to day. And we have to reach out to all kinds of populations every year that are very hard to reach. We have seniors, we have youth, we have communities of color, we have immigrants who are very hard to connect with sometimes, and to get them to participate in the decision-making life of the city, and to connect with all the wonderful city services that Takoma Park offers. Kate is committed to that mission. She's got a million good ideas she's going to tell you about. One I really like is having some of the council meetings, not just at dinner time on Monday nights, but on Saturday. So more people can come and participate, who actually, work and have kids and have dinner. So I'm very excited for Kate's thoughts and implementation, because I know she's committed to being a mayor for everybody. And third, Kate is a collaborator. She knows that the problems and the thorny challenges facing the city of Takoma Park aren't going to be solved by just the city of Takoma Park government, and they don't need to be either. Everybody here pays county taxes, pays state taxes, pays federal taxes, and we need a mayor who's going to ride herd on all the other levels of government and make sure we're all working hard for the residents of Takoma Park. Frankly, now I'm on the county council. After 8 years in the General Assembly, it would be easier for me to support somebody who I didn't hear from very often, and who just sort of checked in at the July 4th parade every year. Everything going all right? Great. But no, I'm supporting somebody who's going to be harassing my staff in Rockville nonstop, getting us to do more and more stuff for Takoma Park. She's going to be blowing up my cell phone on the weekends and at midnight. She's going to be saying, how can you help us raise some money for pre-K and after school? How can you help us train our police to work with our communities of color? And how can you help us connect more folks to the life of the city? And how can you, next time it happens, next time the county executive cuts the budget, how can you help us get Piney Branch Pool open for another year? Forever. That's on my mind. Forever is a long-term goal. So that's the kind of mayor I know Kate's going to be. I'm really grateful to all of you for supporting her, and I'm going to turn it over to our terrific D20 delegation. I get to introduce my partner sitting in my old seat, Will Smith, in the House of Delegates. Give it up for Will. These guys, along with Sheila Hickson, are doing a fabulous job for us in Annapolis. David Moon in the House of Delegates. And everybody knows our fabulous state senator, Jamie Raskin. So, Jamie, take it away.
It's my turn.
It's your turn.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. And behind every great mayor, there are great kids and a great husband. So let's welcome John and Bridget and Maya, wherever they are. Congratulations to the whole family. We know that these are family endeavors and family commitments, and I've certainly seen Maya out there pressing the flesh and passing stuff out, and so and Kate also has a great campaign manager too. So,
yeah.
But I'm just really excited to be here at a great moment in the life of our city. In a lot of the big cities like Chicago or New York, the mayor is the person who bosses everybody around. It's the person that everybody's afraid of. In Takoma Park, the mayor is the person who goes to work for us and implements the priorities and the values of the people. And Bruce Williams has been a fantastic mayor for the city of Takoma Park. And so we owe you a lot. And I am just honored and thrilled to be here with Will Smith and David Moon, and I know Sheila is with us also, I think in mind, not in body. I think she's out of town today, to endorse Kate Stewart. Kate is a phenomenal public servant, and because of where Takoma Park is, we are able to draw on people who are nationally renowned in their fields. And Kate has not only been a fantastic council member here in Takoma Park, but she's been a major actor in public policy battles in the United States of America. So she's been very active with the ACLU, defending our civil rights and our civil liberties against an attack from right-wingers in the Supreme Court and in Congress. She's a great champion of reproductive freedom. Can you believe that we are in the year 2015 and we are still defending the right to contraception and birth control? We need more women in office. Cindy is correct. We need more women like Kate Stewart in office. You know, we've got attempts to take birth control out of Obamacare, taking place right now in Congress by Senator Roy Blunt and a bunch of right-wing senators and members of Congress. We've got attempts right now to shut down the government in order to defund Planned Parenthood, being led by right-wingers in the Senate. And Kate has been a leading champion in Washington and nationally to stop the attacks on birth control, on the right to choose, and on reproductive freedom. And so we know that she comes to us as mayor as a national symbol for defending the civil rights and the civil liberties of everybody, including women who make up a majority of the population. So that's very exciting. And Kate has also been a great champion of environmental protection. And there is no issue that looms larger in our minds today than the problem of climate change, global warming, with wildfires out of control in Alaska this summer, 300,000 acres, water protocols being imposed in California of 25%. We're observing the 10th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, where the vectors of climate change and social injustice and racial injustice all came together to create the deaths of hundreds of people there. And so we're seeing the calamitous costs of climate change and ignoring the environment. Kate Stewart will be a mayor who stands up and shows people, not just in our city, but across the country, what one city can do to champion the strongest possible environmental measures and protections. And so for all of these reasons, I'm thrilled to be here to stand with Kate. I know she is going to be a tremendous public servant for us, just like she's blowing up the phones at Tom Hucker's office. I know all of us have got her cell phone number, and we will be blowing up her phones when there are issues in our neighborhood, whether it is trash removal or snow removal or whatever it is. But I can't think of anybody who has a better commitment to the public interest and a better sense of what the public mission is than Kate Stewart. And for those reasons, I am proud to be here with the whole D20 delegation to endorse her. And with that, I get to bring on Mayor Williams, who has the honor of bringing what we all hope and know to be his successor in office, Kate Stewart. Please welcome the great Mayor Bruce Williams.
Thank you, Jamie, and thank you, Will, David, Tom, for putting this together and hosting this. Really appreciate that. And I also want to recognize County Council Member and former Takoma Park City Council Member Mark Elrich. And former Takoma Park City Council Member Peg Princeton. Because when all of us do these jobs, we ride on the shoulders of those who went before us. We have to remember what they did and honor and respect it. And I think Kate really brings a lot to the table. I've known Kate since almost 20 years, when she and John moved to Takoma Park, first on Philadelphia Avenue and then on Elm. And I worked, excuse me, I worked with Kate when I was the Ward 3 council member. Kate was very involved in the B.F. Gilbert Neighborhood Association, kind of, I think, got the listserv up and running, got people involved there. I haven't been involved in soccer in Takoma Park, but that's real huge, and I see Howard Cohn here. And I know Kate and John have been real involved with the girls with soccer. And people have asked me, since I announced that I wasn't going to be running and Kate announced that she was going to be running, it was like, well, she hasn't been doing this very long. She's been at this a long time. She's been at this in many different venues, and in the 2 years that I've gotten to work with her on the city council, I could see that she's got the smarts, she's got the intelligence, she's got the willingness to serve all people in Takoma Park and be a great mayor. And it's my great honor to introduce Kate Stewart.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Tom, for putting this all together. I very much appreciate it. And to Bruce, you're right, we do stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. And having you and Mark and Hank and Jamie, who are on our city council, they're big shoes to fill moving forward. And to Will and David, thank you so much for your support. Will, in particular, I hope lots of you here in Takoma Park get to know Will Smith. David, he's in our hood. That's great, but I really want everyone here to spend some time getting to know Will, because he's been a huge champion and amazing in Annapolis for all of us. So before you all break and go home, make sure you get to talk to him. But I'd just like to say to everyone up here, thank you so much for being the progressive leaders we need. The progressive leaders we need at the city, at the county, at the state, and soon at the federal level, because we need more progressive leaders. And Takoma Park is a great place to live. I think all of us here know that. And in fact, I would dare say Takoma Park is actually the best place to live. And the thing that makes it the best is all of you. Because this is the last Saturday of August, and we have packed this place. We have packed this place with people who care about what's going to happen to their community in the future. And as we see change here in the city, at the county level, regionally, we need strong, proactive leadership on our city council. We need folks who have a vision and a strategy for realizing that vision. And I thank Jamie for such a wonderful introduction, and Bruce for talking about the work I've done as a civil and reproductive rights advocate, as somebody who's been a nonprofit executive, a small business owner, a soccer coach, and a parent here in Takoma Park. I know what it means to listen, hear, and act on people's concerns and needs. And with your support, it would be a great honor for me to serve as the mayor of Takoma Park. My main priority, as we face a lot of challenges and change over the next few years, is really keeping what we all love and that's special about Takoma Park in place, while taking advantage of the opportunities that are before us. And there are three things, with your help, I'd like to work on as mayor. The first is making sure Takoma Park is a leader and a model in progressive government. A model for how community residents work with their government. And thanks. And we just need to change a little bit how we think about that. I think lots of times we think about residents coming to us as the government, right? Coming to council meetings, coming to us when they have issues. We need to think more about how we can go to residents and engage them. So having maybe Saturday meetings, having meetings at different locations, at maybe Victoria Towers, so people don't have to schlep all the way down to the community center. What about having childcare on Monday nights for city council meetings? My girls now are 15, Maya's 15 and Bridget's 12. Pretty much, as you can tell the way they're running this event, they pretty much run our lives. Bridget most nights is the one cooking dinner, and we couldn't do all that we do in our lives without them. But a few years ago, they couldn't cook their own dinner and get themselves places. John or I had to be home in the evening. And since both of us used to work downtown, that meant if the metro wasn't running well or one of us had a late meeting, that also meant we didn't get to go to a council meeting when we may have wanted to. And so I think having childcare, having those opportunities, and talking to residents about what are the barriers that keep them from engaging is really important. As everybody here I think knows, we are unopposed at the moment. So That doesn't mean we're going to stop working. We're going to work really hard over these next 2 months. And our key thing is going to be about engagement. We want to make sure that we get out the word that 16 and 17-year-olds can vote, and that non-U.S. Citizen residents can vote in Takoma Park. You know, one of the things we talk about shoulders to stand on for that one. And one of the things I was most proud of when we ran the last time in the special election was when we knocked on doors and we told people who could vote in Takoma Park. We had the oldest resident vote that year. And he had been here for decades, and he's in his late 90s, and he said, I never knew I could vote. His daughter didn't know he could vote, and he voted. And I just saw his daughter the other day at the pool, and she said, my father's there, he's got it on the calendar, he can't wait to vote again. Yeah. And we also had the youngest person voting in that special election. And this year, we are going to have even more 16 and 17-year-olds show up to vote. We already have a tentative date, October 23rd. Mark your calendars, get out the word, for a Rock the Vote concert at the VFW, where we will be highlighting Blair High School bands to get out the word to 16 and 17-year-olds that they can vote in this election. So community engagement is a top priority. The second thing is making sure we're an inclusive community. You know, Takoma Park is a very diverse community, and that's probably one of the reasons many of us move here, right, and love living here. But to be an inclusive community, we really have to work at that. And we have to think about it when we're talking about police and community interactions. We need to make sure that every member of our community feels safe, feels that they can trust our police department, and feel that we have an approachable police department. But it doesn't stop there. It means also, when we're thinking about the redevelopment at Takoma Junction, we need to be thinking about how we can bring our community together and how that area can service our whole community and not just some segments of it. So being inclusive means that people don't just feel like they live in a community, but they're part of a community, and that takes work. And then the third area, the third priority, and one of the reasons I'm so glad we have folks here from the city, the county, and the state, and Sioux Federal, is because we do all have to work collaboratively. I can't say that word. Anyway, we gotta work together. And we have to work together on the development issues that are happening now, because as we move forward, we don't want to forget about the residents who live here now, the small businesses who are here now, because they need to have a place as new comes in. And we have to make sure that we're doing this and we're staying on the cutting edge of environmental issues and make sure our development is sustainable. And that's going to take us all working together. You know, I came to Takoma Park, as Bruce said, about 20 years ago. John and I were living in DuPont Circle at the time, and his parents live over on Grant. His mother still lives there. And we came out here on weekends to visit them, in the evenings to have dinner, and I fell in love with Takoma Park. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I was the daughter, I was the daughter of a single mom, and even though we had a very close family, we moved a lot, just because that's the economics of sometimes having a single parent. And when I came to Takoma Park, I realized this was a community where people knew each other, they helped each other, and almost most importantly, they worked together to make their community better and to make the world better. And I knew this was a place where I want to raise my family. And the joke in my family is that I'm a planner, I'm the organizer. And honestly, that's not a term of endearment all the time. So I said to John one day, I'm like, we're moving to Takoma Park. And he's like, why? We're in our early 20s, we live in DuPont Circle, why are we moving to Takoma Park to live near my parents? I said, because someday we are going to have children. And we want to be in Takoma Park to raise those children. Say there hasn't been a moment I have regretted that decision. From the time we rented our first small house on Philadelphia to now where we live on Elm Avenue, this community has given me and my family so much. I met one of my best friends walking in the farmer's market when we both had small children, a baby on, and we just started talking to each other. And we've been friends ever since, and our daughters are best friends for 15 years. That's the kind of community Takoma Park is. That's the kind of community we want to keep it to be. And we want that to be the community for everyone who lives here. So with your support, I would be so honored to stand on the shoulders of those who've come before me and to be your next mayor of Takoma Park. And with that, how are we going to get there? Because I know we're unopposed, but we're working hard. And we're going to keep working. I'm going to turn it over to our amazing, my new boss, Serena, our campaign manager.